So much for coming out tonight. This event has truly been greater than anything I could have ever anticipated. I just want to give a special thank you first to my parents who made all of the food for tonight. That was really great. And then I want to give a thanks to all of the Mini-Thon volunteers from my school who came and helped us out. Thank you to all of our couples who are going to be playing, and thank you to anyone else who donated food, brought desserts tonight. I also want to thank all of our musicians who played earlier. They were really great. And then I just wanted to talk about Mini-Thon for a little bit because that is why we are here tonight. Mini-Thon is held at our school annually. We plan all year for it. We have around 150 students really involved all year. We hold events just like this in our school, in the community. It's a super great experience. I've learned a lot in the 4 years that I've been involved, and I'm just truly thankful for all the opportunities my advisors and everyone from the community has given me in that sense. And Mini-Thon, our Mini-Thon is based on Penn State's Thon, which is being held right now at Penn State. Theirs is a 48-hour event, ours is only 12, but we're going to be having ours soon on March 14th and 15th at Lower Dauphin High School. It's a 12-hour event, but we have community hours from 7 to 11, so I did want to mention if anyone's free on March 14th and interested in seeing, we have our Battle for Diamonds competition at 9 o'clock, and you guys can come and see that. We have 15 seniors this year who have been really dedicated and fundraising throughout the year. And you can come and see that. They do some competitions and a dance. It's really great. Our Mini-Thon contributes to 4 Diamonds, which is a really great cause. Their mission is to cure pediatric cancer, and they're just doing a really great job supporting families financially and emotionally with their organization. We have tonight some donation cans around the room that you guys can donate to 4 Diamonds, or we also have QR codes if you forgot your cash and want to donate that way. And now finally, I'm gonna hand it over to the amazing Ed Wagner for the show that you've all been waiting for.
Thank you very much, Ada, and welcome this evening to the Newlywed game. Okay, first of all, we're going to introduce our first of all, I want to thank you all for being here tonight. I also want to thank all those wonderful youth. You want to stand up, all you youth from the Lower Dauphin? Thank you. And also thank you all for coming out here, because if you didn't come out, we just have a whole lot of food here and no one listening to these people. So it's also great. As far as our contestants, we'll start on our far right. Mary Ellen and Mike Pfeiffer. How about a big hand? They have been married for 17 years, as Mary Ellen was a child bride. Mike is from York, Pennsylvania, and Mary Ellen, is from Waldorf, Maryland. And they first met in Costa Rica on a medical mission trip. Oh, how exciting. Couple number 2. Deb and Aaron Fisher. How about a big hand for Deb and Aaron? Deb, also a child bride. They've been married for 23 years. Aaron is from Fort Lewis, Washington. Washington, is that on the other end of the country? Yes. Other end of the country. And Deb is from the other end of town in Hummelstown. Deb said, "I love you" first, and Aaron has not got a word in since. And finally, couple number 3, Patty and George Woodring. Now, Patty and George have been married for 43 years. So what year did you get married, George?
I forget. Am I supposed to remember those kind of things?
No comment. Anyway, George is from a little town called Bezinet, Pennsylvania. Is that right, Bezinet? And Benedict. Where are you from, George?
Benedict.
And Patty is from Hamden, Connecticut. They first met on a blind date. Whoa. Okay, so we're gonna get started here. For the first round questions, wives will stay at the table. So wives will stay at the table. And the gentlemen will come on over here into the youth room so that they cannot hear the questions. I have your cane here, George. Be careful there. And hey, while they're moving out here, if you're having fun tonight, hey, come on out tomorrow. Tomorrow at 8:45, 10:45, and 9:35, our youth will be leading our worship. They will be speaking, they will be preaching, they will be praying, they will be singing, they will be doing everything youth do. And it'll be a really wonderful day to be here. So if you get a chance, come on out. Charlie, you gonna be here?
Yeah.
Are you preaching tomorrow?
At the first two.
The first two, okay, very good. So you can all see all those wonderful youth and Charlie. Okay, are we all set to get started? Okay, round one. Question number one. These are 5-point questions. And the question is, oh, shut that door. That's why you're here. George couldn't hear me anyway. What did I get here? Oh, yeah, by accident, I dropped a Restoring Grace fund. It was in my envelope here, so thank you all for your support for Restoring Grace. Anyway, moving right along. After a long, hard day, yeah, we're going to write it on the back. Okay, number one. After a long, hard day, what would your husband's ideal meal be for 5 points? What would your husband's ideal meal be after a long, hard day? DoorDash. There's a happily married man. Patty, does George ever do a long, hard day?
Every day.
Every day, okay, just checking. Okay. I think I'm coming to your house, yes, okay. Okay, question number two. Now, you know how wives are always changing their husbands? Well, if your husband had the opportunity to change his career, what would he be? So if your husband was no longer doing what he does, what would he be? For 5 points? Wow. What would your husband be if he had an opportunity to change careers? Wow, he agreed. The George is already a greeter, yes. Okay, and finally, question number three, and it's a 2-part question. For 5 points, how did your husband propose? And for 5 additional points, did you or your husband's parents get asked first? Did you get asked, or did the parents get asked first? 5 points if you can remember how he proposed, and 5 more points if you remember the order. Okay. Very good. And what we'll do is we'll put all of the questions down. So the top will be wife 1, wife 2, and wife... No. Okay, and I'm going to go get the gentleman here. Are they ready? They're coming, they're coming.
Yeah.
Okay, gentlemen, thank you for coming back.
Yeah, you couldn't hear it.
He does look like I get a little feedback here. A little feedback, and my wife's not even here. Ooh. Much better. But it's being recorded. If she was here, she'd say he's all mine, girls. So anyway, moving right along. Okay, we're gonna start. Which side do you want to start with? Let's start in the far right here. Question number 1. After a long, hard day, what would your husband's ideal meal be?
I'm not going to overthink this. I'm just going to go with pizza because that's what I would make or order myself.
Pizza?
What do we say? Wings.
And the answer is wings. Wings, okay?
Yeah, no kidding.
How about pizza and wings?
There you go.
Okay.
That's what I meant.
Okay, Aaron, number 2.
Say Chinese.
Chinese.
I said steak and French fries.
Steak and French fries. Well, you could have steak stir. Okay, that's not right either. Okay, number 3. George, after a long, hard day, what would your ideal meal be?
Eggs, hash browns,
Eggs, hash browns,
sausage.
and sausage. And she answered,
Breakfast and burger.
breakfast. Is it any coincidence that the 43-year newlyweds are in first place after one question? Okay, this time we're going to start from this side and work to the left to the right. Question number 2, if your husband had an opportunity to change his career, what would he be? George, what would you be if you weren't what you are?
You know, I have to tell you, I can't lie about this because I actually had a career before I took up IBM programming, and that career would have been a minister. So, because I had promised God, He got me out of the mess I was in, I would go to school and become a pastor.
Do you want to explain the mess? You weren't in trouble with some lady, were you?
How I wish it was on a mountaintop in Korea, and it was a little touch and go at the time.
Very good. So, and your answer is, Patty?
I blew this one. I said retire.
He'd be retired.
Well, I don't know if you know that story. Okay.
Okay. Aaron, in the middle. If you had a chance to change your career, what would it be?
Retired.
Retired.
Put a gamer.
Is,
Monopoly Go, you know.
is he a gamer?
He is.
He's a gamer. Okay.
He's expanded to the tablet now too.
Finally, and number 3, if your husband had an opportunity to change his career, what would he be?
Major League Baseball player.
I said you would not change. Sorry, babe.
Very good.
Okay.
What did she say?
We should have gone with-
George didn't hear your answer. I'm sorry.
What did I say or what did she say?
What did she say?
I said he would not change.
He would not change. Very good. And then finally, question number 3, we'll start on the far right. How did your husband propose? And for an extra 5 bonus points, did you or your parents get asked first?
So the proposal was in her apartment. I left a CD behind the week before, and I had vacation time she didn't know about. So I showed up at her apartment. The CD ended up being the song that was our first dance at our wedding.
Oh, how romantic.
And yes, I asked her parents ahead of time.
Yeah. So I said surprise birthday visit to my condo, and yes, he asked my parents.
Wow, there's 10. Very good. 10. Oh, we're on a roll now. Oh, yes. Okay. Again, Aaron, do you remember the question?
Could you repeat the question, please?
If you had the opportunity to propose again. No, that's not his question. No.
Do you remember?
How did your husband propose? And for 5 extra bonus points, did he ask, Mom and Dad, are you her first?
It was in a hotel room in New York, well, right outside of New York. I actually slid the ring across the table to her and said, "You want to do this?" And yes, I did speak with her dad before I even proposed.
So I said in a hotel, it was actually New Jersey, New York, and he did ask my dad first.
Very good.
For the record, he didn't know which speaker the piano was supposed to go on, which is why he slid it across the table.
Okay, George, now this is a long time ago, 43 years ago. How did you propose, and did you ask her parents or her first?
I have to tell you, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't remember. I was sitting there, I listened to that, and I said, they'll all, I have no idea. What? She said yes, but I don't mind where it was. The only thing I can think of, we used to go dancing about 11 o'clock at night, but I don't think it was one of those.
That would have been really romantic.
I have to tell you, I didn't ask her mom first. Although I think her mother knew, but I don't. Boy, my mind do talk by the blank. This is crazy. I don't think I asked her mom first.
So I can make up anything I want.
Hopefully her story's better than George's.
So we're not a match already, right? Okay. So
He's beyond the warranty level, yes.
So George is just as romantic as Aaron. So we're driving in the car, and driving the car, and he asked me to get something out of his briefcase, and there was a ring box in there. I'm like, "Is this yours?" That's kind of how it happened. And I said I didn't know, but I didn't think he asked my mom first. He just asked me. Yeah, it was very romantic.
We're gonna give you the extra 5 points because that's a great story.
I was never a very romantic guy. I'm sorry.
Hey, you really want the 0 on the end? It looks like 100.
Very good. So I can't see the scores here, but if my math is correct, we are correct. We are all at 10 points. Is that correct? Oh man, this is getting good. So now it's time for round 2, and basically we're going to do the exact opposite. The husbands will stay here. The wives will make their way into the gummy room for the 3 questions. Okay, we'll start with George this time. Question number 1, and again, you're going to write on the back of that, George.
They're not back in the room.
They're not back there yet? Oh heavens, they're cheating. Ah, they're okay, they can't hear. Okay. Question number 1. Question number 1, what did you do on your first date, George?
It's all of us, right?
That's all of you, yes. And please don't tell me you don't remember.
I remember.
He remembered, okay. For 10 points.
Glad you remember. I don't remember.
What did you do on your first date? Okay. Question number 2. And I need some help from the studio audience, but how many pairs of shoes does your wife say she has? Now, what range are we taking? Within 5?
Wait, I got a question here.
Yes.
How many shoes she says, or how many shoes she actually has?
How many pairs of shoes will your wife say that she has?
Oh, jeez. Wow.
And if we get it within 3, we'll give him the 10 points.
3? Within 15.
She has. Does your wife have a lot of shoes?
A lot.
She's gonna say yeah.
Wow. Looking good, okay. Question number 3. and you know all about this, George, when you are in the doghouse, what is the one thing you can do to help get back in your wife's good graces? When you're in the doghouse, what can you do to get in your wife's good graces for 10 points?
Huh? I haven't figured this part out yet.
Aaron, nothing might be a legitimate answer to that question.
It's when you're in trouble, what do you do to get in your wife's good graces? And the final 10-point question is, no, that was the final 10-point question. Okay. The bonus question.
Oh, jeez.
What would your wife say was the worst Christmas present you ever gave her? For 25 points, what is the worst Christmas? I'm liable to go to the studio audience here because they have some good answers, I can tell. The worst Christmas present. Aaron, all yours are good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay with that.
You're done?
No.
Okay, you're still
I
thinking?
haven't figured it out yet.
Very good.
I forget what it's called. That's how bad it was.
Are you still thinking, George? He's thinking. All your Christmas presents are good.
Well, we have to understand, Patty picks her Christmas presents. She gives me the list, and that's what I do. We've been doing that for years.
I just read the questions, George. I don't write them.
I have to think about it. This had to have been more. What if I give you my ex-wife?
How about if you give your ex-wife? I don't think she'd know the answer. He's thinking. He is thinking. Aaron, did you write one down?
Yeah, I wrote something down. I'm taking a wild guess. Answers aren't out there, George.
She's not going to get it anyway, George. She's not going to get it anyway.
Hold on, Ed. Hold on.
Very good. They're all set. The gentleman had far more difficulty with the questions.
I think our questions were harder.
Okay, again, it's still anybody's game. We're all tied at 10. We're going to start on the first right. On the far right, I'm sorry. Question number 1 for 10 points. What did you do on your first date? Now, since you were on a mission trip, you were praying, right? That is so lame. I worked with youth. Come on. And the answer is?
Well, when we got back to the U.S., our first date was at Franklin Institute.
Franklin Institute.
Whoa, we got 10 points there. Okay, Deb. Where did you go on your first date?
Oh, I thought you said, what did we do?
No, I'm sorry. What did you do on your first dates where you went? Yes. Okay, it's just what did you do?
Well, no. I'm just kidding. I honestly, I don't know, movies.
Wait a second.
I said we ate food.
Ate food. I'm glad it wasn't the question you
It was
had.
popcorn at the movies, I'm sure. I don't
I'm
know.
glad it wasn't the question where you got engaged. What's it say?
In it.
Moving right along. Okay, Patty. Where did you go on your first date?
We went out to dinner with the couple that set us up for the blind date.
Bingo, 10 points.
I remember that.
Okay.
More about the blind date than any other time. You're a cutie there.
It's all good. Okay, we're going to start down here with George and Patty and go the other way. The question is, how many pairs of shoes will your wife say she has and will accept within 3 pairs?
Oh my gosh. Well, lately I've had to get rid of a lot of shoes. So I would tell you, he's going to say like 100, which might have been right at one time. I really, right now, have about 25 pairs of shoes.
25.
What did you say?
40.
That is a lot.
George, do you think it's closer to 40 or 25?
40. What?
She said 25, right?
Yeah, I think 40.
But do you think it's 40 or 25?
I think it's 40.
Okay.
Quite frankly, he stays out of my closet.
Deb and Aaron, same question. How many pairs of shoes do you have, Deb?
Probably 18.
10.
The shoe rack holds 12 and there's an overflow, so there's at least a dozen.
No, I thought he said the question, what would you say you had, not what you actually had.
It's okay. A chance to take the lead here. Mike and Mary Ellen, how many pairs of shoes does your wife own? Well, she say she owns.
I guess maybe 25.
25! Wow.
I was just lucky.
Didn't even need the buffer.
Okay. Let's see here now. We'll start with Mike and Mary Ellen. You have 30 points, is that correct? 30?
Boy.
The last 10-point question is, and this never happens to you, but when you're in the doghouse, what is the one thing that will get you in your wife's good graces? Is he ever in the doghouse?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I guess maybe like send me out to exercise without any children nearby.
Do I get half credit? I said a meal out with no kids.
With no kids. The studio audience. No, I'm sorry, the studio audience was.
No kids.
Okay, now Aaron, are you ever in the doghouse?
Oh, always.
Always. So this should be an easy question, right?
You're not in the doghouse.
So when he's in the doghouse, what can he do to get on your good graces, Deb?
I don't know, household chores.
Household chores.
I said whatever she asked.
Household chores!
Listen, studio audience, yes or no? Okay, we're going to give him the points.
That's that yes dear motto.
Yes, okay, now, Patty, is George ever in the doghouse?
I don't know if he knows that he is. You want me to answer?
Only if you want these good people to get to go home sometime, yes.
So I think that, I'm not sure, I think that when I get really, really angry, I need time to, just time alone. So I think when he's in the doghouse, he just disappears for a while. It's okay.
Stacy? That was excellent. All I know is George is over at the church about 5 days a week, so he must be in the doghouse an awful lot.
That makes for a good marriage.
And you're welcome, yes. Okay, going into the bonus round, if my math is correct, we have 30 points, 20 points, and 30 points. With a 25 bonus point, it's anybody's game. So finally, what would your wife say your worst Christmas present is? And I'm going to start in the middle this time. Deb and Aaron, 20 points. You have 25 points. We'll give you 45. Deb, what is the worst Christmas present your husband has ever given you?
I'm going to say nothing. I don't know.
That
Sure.
Final answer?
That's my final answer.
I said that Instapot thing.
Oh, that's true.
Instapot.
I wanted a crock pot. You got the freaking Instapot.
Okay.
Which I sold, by the way.
Okay, Mike and Mary Ellen, you have 30 points. 25 points will give you 55 points and put you in the lead, pending George and Patty. What would your wife say was the worst Christmas present you ever gave her?
I really can't think of any, honestly. I mean, there's been some like,
I don't even know
mediocre
if what I
presents,
wrote
but
I got you for Christmas.
I have no idea. Nothing. I got no bad presents.
See?
I wrote Dutch oven because
A
you
Dutch
didn't
oven?
think it was going to be good.
It is good.
The Dutch oven wasn't good?
No.
No. Now remember that, gentlemen. Do not get your wives a Dutch oven for Christmas.
Or an Instapot.
Or an Instapot. Okay, now, not to put any pressure on you, George, but you are tied for the lead with 30 points. A successful answer, Patty, will put you as the 2025 Newlywed Game champions.
Well, I have to tell you, the worst present I ever got from George was not a Christmas present. It was my first birthday, which he bought a sink for the basement.
Was it porcelain? Was it, I mean, what kind of...
It was like one of those old plastic ones in the corner of the basement.
Okay.
But my Christmas presents, I cannot remember anything that was bad. So I would say, no, not in the beginning. Not in the beginning. I don't think I've ever gotten a bad Christmas present. What'd you say?
I said a sweater, because I thought early on, I thought I'd want you a wall color sweater or something.
That was his idea of what was the worst color. He bought me this beautiful, beautiful fuchsia, really hot pink colored sweater, which I loved. And then his answer to it was, I bought the ugliest color I can find.
Very good. So that doesn't match, does it, George? It does not match. So right now we have a tie. And my rules person, will you read what you do in event of a tie?
So after all my research, watching the Newlywed Game, we learned that when there's a tie, we had all the contestants before the show predict what they thought their score would be. And in the event of a tie in the Newlywed show, whoever's actual score was closest to their predicted score is the winner. All right, so I'll kind of give you guys what all of our newlyweds predicted their score would be. Mike and Mary Ellen predicted that their score would be 45. Aaron and Deb predicted 40. And George and Patty predicted 35.
So George and Patty are the winners! Now, the truth be told, they picked first, they picked second, and George picked last, and he picked a good number, so. But we don't have rules for this. So anyway, they are our winners here, and we have some parting prizes here for our couples. Geez, hey, while we're getting this, just wanted to share a real quick story with you. I just got back from the K-Love cruise, had a wonderful time. And you meet lots of people. And I met a lady in a pool, because there are lots of people in the pool. And I actually got a conversation with her, and she told me, everyone on a Christian cruise is a testimony. And this lady told this story about a young child of hers. The child was 10 years old. And unfortunately, the child had an incurable cancer. And first, the child went blind, and then by age 12, the child died. And again, I know we all had a lot of fun here tonight. We laughed and we giggled. You know, this cancer is a serious problem, especially for our children. And I just want to thank you all for coming out here. If you put money in the bucket, we'll take more from you. If you didn't bring your checkbook, use that, what's that code thing called? A QR code? Use a QR code. If you forget it, call the church office. We'll find a way to get them their money. But seriously, thank you all for coming out tonight. It's been a wonderful evening. Had a lot of fun. I call this fundraising a nobody gets hurt fundraiser. That means nobody had to dig too deep in their pockets yet. Nobody had to get their arms twisted yet. But these kids from Lower Dauphin, can I say kids? Is that derogatory? Okay, these youths from Lower Dauphin did a fantastic job, and it's great to be able to support them with this endeavor. So thank you all for coming. And go home, get to bed right away so you can come back here tomorrow to see some great worship tomorrow morning here at Grace.
If we could, I also want to give just one last thank you to Ed and all of our couples. They truly made the ultimate sacrifice by going to play tonight. And then you all are good to head home. Thank you so much. Oh yes, we have our donation buckets.